So this guy yesterday, this guy's done this twice now. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm just going to start slapping motherfuckers because they're just not, people are just not comprehending like what they see standing in front of them. It's just not even it's just not even the realm of like their IQ or what their brain is able to like strategize. Like, let's see, this guy looks like he could play in the NFL or be a UFC fighter. I look like a fucking 125-pound nerd. My chances are probably not that good if this guy decides to attack me. It's going to be like a fucking grizzly bear in Alaska attacking you. Not the way I want to fucking carry myself, but in this neighborhood, you have to be an asshole sometimes to these fucking zombie, whatever the fuck these people are on today, but they're on a fucking constant stream of denial. This guy walking the dog, and I'm cognizant of the dog's pretty intimidating looking, and I know he don't like black people. I'm sorry if that's offensive to people. I'm not saying all black people are whatever, but I'm just saying his owner was black and he don't like black people. It's a fucking fact. Get over it. This guy's coming down the street. I know the guy, he looks like a fucking gremlin. You know what I mean? He's got a real nasty disposition. I've almost smacked him a few times in the past couple years, but we're getting to the point now where I kind of just feel like I've got to grab you by your fucking collar and headbutt you or something, or throw you on the ground or do something. Like, I have to start at A. We've already done A, B, C. The next thing is I'm just going to have to like trip you or judo toss your ass into a bunch of fucking pricker bushes or something. I don't know what to do with these people, but they just are not getting the fucking point. And the guy looks like the guy totally looks like he's fucking possessed. Which he pretty much is, you know what I mean, at this point. The spirit that's in him isn't the one that's in me, and the one that's in me is greater than the one that's in him. I can tell you that right now. But, I see him coming, so I kind of leash the dog, and I don't ever let the dog feel like nervous or anything like that. I don't want him to feel like, because I'm definitely not fucking intimidated by this joker walking by. So I'm with her. I said, here, let this guy pass by. The guy walks in the street, and as he's walking by, he like picks up like a windshield wiper, and he doesn't even look at me. He just looks at the dog. He starts talking shit to the dog. And I said, grab the dog for me. And he's walking away, and I said, hey, man, I go, who the fuck do you think you are talking to my dog? I go, you talking to my dog like that? I go, you think that windshield wiper is going to help you against me or my dog? I'll let this dog go on you right now, okay? So he starts walking down my street, and I said, hey, you're not going, you listen, I don't care if your mom lives down here. You ain't walking down my street. In fact, if I ever see you cross down this street, okay, farther than what you've crossed right now, you're going to get a beating, okay? I said, you right now, I know who you are. I've seen you a couple times. You're a nasty motherfucker. I'm going to smash you the next time I see you. I don't care if I see you at Family Dollar or if I see you coming out of a church parking lot. I said, that's the second time you've picked up a stick and started talking shit to my dog and acted like I'm nothing to worry about. Don't worry about the dog, okay? The dog will leave you alone after a while. I'm not. I just go I'm just saying, I'm not saying like I'm the biggest guy in the world or anything like that, but I wouldn't want somebody built like me if I was built like them, fucking, agitated, or even, wouldn't even want to be on my fucking radar. It's just so fucking crazy, like the delusion that people are under. Like this dude that owned the dog, like delusional. Like fucking delusional. He's called my house, said shit about my girlfriend and whatever the fuck she is, and brought her into the equation. And I just want to say, dude, do you understand what the fuck will happen to you if I just start swinging on you? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you understand like what's going to happen? Like, do you understand I'm not even saying it to be an asshole. I don't fight people because I put people in the fucking hospital. You know what I mean? I don't like to hit people. The reason why I don't like to hit people is because I don't know where you're going to fucking fall and hit your head. I'm looking around on the ground going, he could hit his head on the street pole. He could hit his head on the curb. I don't want to kill somebody, And it's like, these people are like, it's like life is like hockey. Like, they're like trying to draw you into penalties. Like they're trying to draw you into a fight. So then that way you're in the penalty box or jail. The judge wears black and white, just like a hockey referee wears black and white. The judge doesn't see how they antagonized you for a month or two. The judge just sees that you're a big muscular dude and you're a little fucking frail crackhead, zombie looking motherfucker. And, you fractured their orbital bone and they got to put metal behind their eye and they've got to have physical therapy for 3 months. And, 3 of their teeth are missing and they got to see a fucking oral surgeon now. That's $40,000. That's $120,000. This, and this. That's all the judge sees. He doesn't see that this dude, texted your house 1,000 times, did all kinds of shit, so I have to really be cognizant of, how I choose to respond to these people. I have no problem grabbing somebody. I'm not saying it. I mean, I've yanked people over store counters many a time in my day. I have no problem doing it today. If you give me a fucking reason to put my hands on you, and I'm not saying I'm gonna, elbow your face closed, but if I gotta yoke you up by the collar of your shirt and make sure that we're this close and I fucking hammer my point home, after that, I have to wait for them. You know what I mean? I have to wait for them to physically, attack me with something. They have to physically, I can't just unload on somebody, while they're standing there, because the judge just looks at these people, which they pretty much are. If I start swinging on you and you're fucking standing, I'm 240 something pounds, you're 160 pounds, I'm 5'11", you're 5'4", I start hammer fisting your face, the judge is going to go, well, what in the world, that possessed you, that you felt like you had to, like, Mike Tyson their ass. Like, what kind of threat could this frail motherfucker, pose to you that you had to, completely destroy his face? You know what I mean? Because it's happened a few times when I was younger and I couldn't control my fucking temper. I've teed off on people because there was just nothing. I mean, I just didn't have the experience of knowing that, I didn't know that it was I didn't know that there was felonies and misdemeanors, and I didn't know that if you hit somebody and you cut them and whatever the fuck and you broke their nose or whatever, and that it was that's, I just thought a fight is a fight and whatever you get, you get. You know what I mean? Like, truthfully, as a man that if you're antagonizing another man, but we have such pussy ass people in power in this pussy world that we live in, I just know that, I've got a couple, there's a hierarchy and an order to things. I don't, like I was telling her, I know I look intimidating. I'm the least intimidating person on this fucking street. There's not a serious bone. There's not a serious bone in my body at all about anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't walk around. I don't take myself seriously. I don't, this just happens to be how I'm built. This just happens to be, I just happen to look bald. I'm very rarely pissed off. And my neighbor that's the roofer down the street says it's so funny to see you, in your yard, like fucking snuggling. Like, he's like, dude, you kissed your cat for like 15 fucking minutes one day, He's like, you just don't look like the type of guy that would be like, smushing your face into your cats. And I'm like, well, that's where people are deceived. You know what I mean? I don't like to have to fucking turn up the fucking volume on people. I don't like it. But in today's world, listen, I can't tell you how many people, when I first moved here, would try to fuck with these cats or say shit to them. And I would just look at them and go, what's wrong? Not even in a fucking like antagonistical, like, hey, there's violence coming your way type way. I just go, what's wrong? What is the cat doing to you? What is he doing? Did he shit in your yard or something? And the guy, oh no, there's no problem. Well, there was 5 seconds ago. I don't know. Like, before it was enough that I could just look at somebody and get my point across and maybe just raise my voice a little bit. But it's like, this dude's, listen, obviously, this dude is never getting his fucking dog back. I mean, obvious. The only way you're getting your dog back is if the fucking SWAT team comes and throws concussion grenades in my house and they fucking beat me unconscious and take the dog. There's no way, there's no amount of cars, that could pull up in front of even right now. You know what I mean? Even right now, I could be sitting here right now and a bunch of people, could pull up and say, hey man, you're not getting shit. Okay, you can beat me all you want. When I get out of the hospital, I'll come back and beat you twice as bad. Trust me. It's just what kind of what kind of delusion are you living in to think that you calling my house? What do you think? I'm up all night thinking about it? I laugh about it. You know what I mean? I'll get up in the middle of the night and look at my phone because I listen to YouTube videos and I'll see missed call. And I'll go to my blocked messages and then I'll see this, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm just like, man, listen, anybody that's ever pointed a gun at me or ever pulled a knife on me or ever attacked me with a weapon or anything, never told me in advance. Okay, that's rule number one. Nobody that's ever going to do shit really is going to tell you in advance what they're going to do. You know what I mean? They just do it, Two, if you really were anybody to worry about, you'd come knock on my fucking door. You know what I mean? Like, you'd come knock on my door and try to out-bluff me or out-muscle me or out whatever you're going to outdo. You're just going to be outside sweating in the sun while I'm laughing at you. You know what I mean? But this crazy antichrist spirit that's in the world, it's possessed people into they're not even thinking about the consequences. Like this dude, I'm just telling you, I've knocked people out of their fucking shoes when I've hit them. You know what I mean? Like, I've knocked people onto hoods of cars and they've rolled off the other side like a fucking video game. That's why I don't punch people. You know what I mean? That's why I don't punch people, Because all this shit in here is fragile and it tends to break pretty easily or it bleeds all over the place. And it doesn't look good when the sheriffs show up and you're telling them, this guy this guy attacked me with a butcher knife in my house and I beat the brakes off of him so bad. I picked him up from behind in a rear naked choke off the fucking ground, walked him to the front door of my house, opened the door, put him down, opened the door, picked him back up, brought him to the balcony, flipped him off the porch onto his back. He still was trying to fucking fight me, He had another knife in his pocket he was trying to reach for and get up and come attack me, So I just gave him a couple, elbows, that just happened to slice him up pretty bad. And he happened to shit his pants when I kneed him in the stomach. You know what I mean? And it's not my fault. You attacked me with a fucking knife, and the ambulance came. The ambulance usually comes, People think, I don't know if people just think I'm afraid to fight them. I'm afraid of fucking getting locked up. Do you know what I mean? I'm afraid of when they come and see the aftermath. I remember I bounced a guy's head off. This guy antagonized me for 4 hours, okay? He threw a bottle at me, cut my eye right in front of a state trooper on, not Memorial Day, but St. Patrick's Day when I was a bouncer. I grabbed him and I threw him on a pile of fucking 10-speed mountain bikes. Then after that, I went up, I drug him through the parking lot by his shoes, by his pants, brought him to his car, and I repeatedly bumped his head into his fender until there was a nice sized watermelon dent in the fender of his car. You know what I mean? And they never said, he never got arrested for anything, but, I ended up having to pay, for his car, because it was above and beyond what was needed. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I have to think, these motherfuckers are going to take me away from my cats. He has to fucking, he has to reach out and touch someone really for me to. Now, I'm not saying that I can't open hand slap somebody, which probably is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I can't slap his glasses off his face and there's nothing he's going to do about it. I'm not saying I'm not going to pick his bike up and throw it over a fence into the junkyard and let him go get it in the morning. Something, I have to show him a little bit of something because he obviously doesn't respect me. But, you know, like, I have to put up with this shit. Do you know what I mean? I have to put up with this shit until they do something that puts my life in danger. You know, we also have a lot of motherfuckers down here carry guns, you know? A lot of motherfuckers down here carry guns illegally. A lot of these weirdos, you know, they have weapons, box cutters, all kinds of shit on them. Trust me when I tell you, that's the first thing somebody reaches for. That's why I usually know when someone's getting a little tough with me. You know, I'm looking at their waistband. I'm looking at, do they have a, you know, I'm looking, are they reaching behind them to pull something out? Because I usually know if it isn't PCP or something, they have, you know, a pistol, a 22, a knife, a bar, a shank, or whatever the fuck, because that's what people usually do. I've never, you know, and it's never guys my size don't want to fight guys my size because we know it hurts. You know what I mean? We know that it's going to take about 3 months till your fucking face heals or your head feels right or you stop having headaches or you stop seeing flashes in your eye. There's nothing great about, you know, punching somebody in the face, but I just feel like, you know, it's like, you know, back in the day, you used to be able to just knock on somebody's door and tell them, hey, man, I'm just telling you, you're making me a little grumpy. Nowadays, it's just not enough. You know, it used to be enough, you know, like the delusion of, I'm just saying, like, if I texted like Brock Lesnar lived across the street from me and I was like, listen, motherfucker, blah, 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 you know, fuck your girlfriend, this, that, and the other thing. Your girlfriend's a slut. I'm coming to get my dog, you big fucking piece of whatever. I would think Brock Lesnar's probably going to come over and fucking ragdoll me like I'm a fucking toy. You know what I mean? So I probably ain't going to want to make, you know, Brock Lesnar mad. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the way it used to be in the world. People just didn't want to make somebody fucking mad. You know, I'm not a mean fucking guy. You know, I'm not a mean guy at all. You know, I'm not I mean, I fucking listen to the Backstreet Boys. How much, you know, we were listening to, we were at the gym and, her headphone thing came over mine because of the Bluetooth thing, and she was listening to like Owl City, and I go, she's like, I can't even believe you know who that is. I go, yeah, it's like the gayest song ever. You know, I know pop music. You know what I mean? Like I listen to Lady Gaga. I don't like New Kids on the Block, but I'll listen to an NSYNC song. I'm not one of these people. I'm not insecure with my toxic masculinity. I don't like to, you know, the only thing I like to use my size for is when it's needed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't walk around like some of these guys at the gym where they act like they have these huge, I'm a fucking big guy. I've been big my whole life. This isn't nothing new to me. Do you know what I mean? It's not my fault. You know what I mean? I've had, since the time I was 8 or 9, I've had kids consistently want to fight me that were smaller than me. It's just always been the way it was. I have no idea why. And then I'd knock their block off and their parents call my parents, or, you know, a tooth comes out and, you know, they need $1,200 or whatever, you know. And it's just getting to the point where it's just, I don't know, man. I just, you know, drugs obviously are involved, demonic possession, the spirit in this world of just like, man, the devil's got these people, like, the devil's going to get you in trouble. Just telling you right now, you know. That's why, you know, like I tell her, I live a fucking simple life, okay? I don't need a car. I don't need to go anywhere to get in trouble. I don't even I just went to Walmart. I told myself, every time I get out of the car, I just tell myself, be nice. Make sure you're nice to people. Don't be grumpy. Be nice to people. Don't let anybody, rile you up. You're going to get shot inside Walmart. Don't get all revved up on anybody. I tell myself all the time, and I pretty much conduct myself like a gentleman 90% of the time. But I got a guy who lives behind me. He's a drug dealer. There's a girl behind here that has a kid. She's turning tricks. I got to call DCF Tuesday. She's turning tricks. She leaves the kid in the stroller while she's blowing dudes. He lets her stay at the house. He knows about it. That house, I can only imagine. And then the landlord's coming over me and saying the dog can't stay here. Bitch, don't fucking come knock on my door. Tell this motherfucker, get this motherfucker out of here. And that's another thing, Like I tell her, these motherfuckers across the street playing their fucking Mexican polka music till 4 o'clock in the morning. I go over there, hey guys, it's a little, come on, Van Halen. I seen Van Halen when they got back together. It wasn't even this loud. I'll turn it down a little bit. I go, well, you need to turn it down more than a little. It's enough that I'm fucking over here in my underwear and no shoes and a flashlight, and I'm telling you, and it's just people are just fucking, I know somebody's going to say, oh, that was a sign. People are just fucking oblivious. You know what I mean? Oblivious to this. People are oblivious to this shit.